What up everybody, it's your boy the Infinite Dragon. This video is a little different from the ones that I normally make. Since I was little, I've always wanted to be really good at fighting games, but I always found the skill level too obscure to really know what I'm doing aside from button mashing. These series of videos is basically to document my understanding and growth of learning fighting games from various resources, as well as serve as a guide to anyone looking to do the same. If you want to see this live in action, I stream fighting game content every Sunday on Twitch, so you can enjoy the fun with me. Thanks so much and enjoy my descent into madness.
Oh shit, it's your boy. What's good, y'all? You can stay there, it's all good. Alright, let me get Logan up. There we go.
Hey yo,
Logan, what's good, my boy?
not much, I'm just hanging out, ready to go.
Alright. Do you know what we're doing today? Did I tell you what we're doing today?
You mostly were checking out stuff to help you with fighters, but it was like Guilty Gear.
I was looking at ways to practice fundamentals, and there's a crash course. Can you see that?
I absolutely can.
Okay, cool. There's a crash course on YouTube for Guilty Gear that from my understanding, crosses over to fighters.
Okay.
You know, it's made by Arc Systems.
Yeah, ArcSys has a lot of similar stuff in their games.
So I was told that episodes 1 through 18 is what's really gonna happen. Is what's really gonna help. But we might as well just watch all of them because I want to play Guilty Gear too. So
True.
I also have some other videos by some other people that's gonna probably help. But enough monologuing. Let's get into it.
All right, this is like I said, this is Guilty Gear Crash Course. This is by, I can't pronounce this.
By that person.
Yeah, by them. Yeah, so we're just gonna, these videos are relatively short, so we should be able to get through all of them. All right,
Yeah, I don't see a reason why we can't.
Yeah, let's get to it. And for the YouTube video, all the except for the archive channel probably won't have links to it. But when I put this on like my main channel, this will all the videos will have links in the description. Demonetized.
Yeah, right out of the gate.
Fighting games, and Guilty Gear especially, as fun as they are to play at high level, can be pretty overwhelming to a newcomer.
Yep.
We feel that
That's me.
inexperienced players have a problem transferring a wall of textual theory into practice, which
A lot of
limits
fighting
the
games have that
effectiveness of
textual theory
tutorials
problem.
in general for the players who
You mean all of them?
So
Yeah, that's
we
what I'm
want to
saying.
try
Like a
something
lot of them have
completely
that
new,
major
a
problem.
fresh take on how to convey information, tailored to make the process more fun. For this to work, you'll need to be an active participant in this experiment, not just a passive viewer.
Okay.
So
well,
do it.
if that's the case,
do it.
While this is in the background, I'm gonna pull up FighterZ.
Our episodes will be very short and simple. We'll focus on a single concept per. Then it will be your turn. Don't just move on to the next video. After you are done watching, go play the game and focus on the episode's concept.
You got it, dude.
Calling you
Play the
out.
game against
It's
high-level
calling you
players
out.
at this point. Play against players at your level or lower, or even against the CPU.
Yeah, I'm.
Focus on winning the match
CPU's
at this
cheat
point.
though.
Just practice and hone what you just learned. Then watch some high-level match videos of your character.
I think I have some of those in the wings. If not, I have someone in mind.
Then play some more, then watch some more, and so on. When the concept becomes second nature, move on to the next episode and repeat the process again.
Okay, we're not doing. We're here to learn everything at one time and then cry when we don't understand. That's what we're here to do.
Basic space
Yeah,
control.
yeah. That's what you're in here to do. I think I'll know most of this.
Simple principle.
Oh, look at this.
It's
Fucking
all about
Street
space
Fighter.
control. Street
I think I
Fighter
understand how this works. It's just I gotta,
What
you know,
does
it's nice to
Ryu
hear
do?
everything.
Crouching medium kick and fireballs against an opponent on the ground, and dragon punches against an opponent in the air.
I mean, it's teaching
Such
you
a
basic
simple
fighting and
tactic
basic
you'll
control,
learn
yeah.
very quickly is still effective at high levels of play. Why? Because controlling space is the game. Higher level merely adds nuance to it, but doesn't change the very nature. Guilty Gear has a similar space control tactic, and by learning it, we'll have a powerful tool to start playing the game with. So in Street Fighter, we have ground control with crouching medium kick and fireballs, and air control with dragon punches, right? Now let's look at the control scheme of Guilty Gear. They're the directionals, written as keyboard numpad notation.
Yeah, I learned this already.
Buttons organized in a rainbow layout. From weakest to strongest: punch, kick, slash, hard slash, and dust.
Okay. For fighters, I'm not using a. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. 1 second.
You're gonna get your fucking fight stick out.
I am, because I wanted to learn. First off, my controller, as I've been saying for Yakuza, for literally any other game I was playing, my buttons sometimes just don't activate. I won't have that problem on the fight stick. I just felt it was kind of uncomfortable. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna bring out the fight stick. Okay, so the fight stick that I have is a Mayflash FE. I think it's FE 300, but I modified it. I changed the stick to a Saimetsu stick. And then I changed it from ball top to a bat top. And then I changed the buttons. They're still Sanwa buttons, but they're just right now. So.
I got you.
All right. So if we were to translate this to fighters, right? This is my light. This is my mid. This is my heavy. This is special. And I think there's actually a button right here that's the. Actually, I take that back. It's light, light, medium, heavy, special, and that's it. Those are your 4 buttons. And then every other thing that you can do in the game is a combination of all these buttons pressed together.
Yeah, whereas Guilty Gear has dust to do the other special movement options.
Luckily for me, I actually have 8 buttons, so I can put other stuff onto other things. So
You
I
gotta
don't
put fucking macros on your goddamn fight stick.
I wasn't going to, but I have that capability if I do eventually end up wanting
really.
to. So I actually have like the RB, L1, so that switches out characters, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I do have to actually use the rest of these buttons. I might need to reconfigure them to suit me better, but
Yeah,
as of right now, whatever the default is.
Simple so far, right? Here's the catch. Even though the characters are unique and different from one another, there are still universal features for almost everyone.
Welcome
The
to fighting
slash
games.
button is your ground control button, and replaces Ryu's crouching medium kick and fireball. Notice that far S and or 2S, the standing and crouching S attacks, have good range and speed. For some characters it's done with a different button instead, but the principle stays the same. Also, for most characters, forward plus punch, or 6P, serves as an anti-air move that beats jumping attacks.
Okay.
Again, there are
All right. In fighters, that's 2H.
Yeah, 2H is your anti-air in that game.
exceptions, as some characters use different moves as anti-airs. So use these 2 options to play like Ryu and keep controlling the space between you and the
I
opponent.
can't believe a Guilty Gear
Because
game
this
is
is a
telling you
chain
play
game,
like Ryu.
It's crucial to know how to continue each attack and get your guaranteed damage in. So when
I mean, it's a
poking
very
from
valid
far,
point. Both Guilty
cancel
Gear
the
and
normal
fighters
to
seem
other
chain
far-reaching
fighters.
normals, or into a special move. Every character has different options.
Okay, you said chain fighters. Chaining meaning you don't, the animations do not cancel out into each other. You have to do one animation and then the next animation and the next.
Yeah,
animation.
and you have to find the best way to chain your attacks into each other so you can continue the combo. Whereas things like KOF have things like special animation cancels.
Okay, and then linking would be like you actually cancel the.
Yeah,
animation.
exactly. Linking would be canceling it out and doing something different out of the move.
Okay.
Just make sure to always keep 2 goals in mind: to win in the situations that arise, and to push the opponent to the corner. Note that some characters may be weaker than others when focusing on just poking and anti-airing, without the advanced concepts. But poking
Okay,
and
so
anti-airing
neutral in traditional, because I know what neutral looks like in Smash, because that's the first game I learned. But in neutral in 2D fighters is trying to get your opponent into the corner.
It's to get your opponent into the corner so that they have very limited options to get out or combat you back.
Got you.
Because in order to get out of the corner, basically, in like Street Fighter, is you'd have to do basically the combo they had shown with Soul Bad Guy, which is doing a poke with the like a crouching poke attack into a several chain to make it so instead of you being in the corner, you're either back in the midfield or have them in their opposite corner.
Episode 2, Basic Defense. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Guilty Gear Crash Course.
Hello.
Last time we learned to perform some basic, effective offense and think in terms of space control. Hopefully you played enough to get the feel of it, because now we'll focus on something just as important: defense. Guilty Gear is a fast chain game, and that can be scary when being on the receiving end of a long barrage of attacks. offense is really strong, and everything happens so fast that you can't always tell what's going on and why you got hit. It can sometimes feel overwhelming.
Okay, so luckily for me, I actually watch someone who plays fighters play the fucking game. So I can actually see a lot. While I can't do half the shit that they're doing, I can only see what happens. Oh, he got hit with the 6M here, and he used an assist. So even though the 6M is really really slow, and you can't combo off of that, even after you get the hit, they use their assist to get the to get to the to continue the guard break in order for them to actually combo off of it. So luckily for me, I've already seen stuff like that. And hopefully I pull up a video that actually shows that, so I can be like, oh yeah, this is what happened here. Haha, I'm not stupid.
Yeah, it seems like fighters and a couple other tag games, much less so Skullgirls, because you don't have to play as a tag team. But with tag fighters like this that are chain fighters, what you're doing is effectively only using the tag-in system to continue your combo chain so that you can get out of a situation that you normally wouldn't be able to combo into to a situation where you can to continue this long string or to finish your string with a lot of burst damage.
I believe to continue this is a really specific case, to continue a block string in order to get a mix-up.
There you go. That's another good example.
Have no fear. We have 2 tips that will help you immensely on defense and allow you to get more playtime in the match.
I also love
First of
Venom,
all,
dude.
Just like Street Fighter, blocking low is the default, while blocking high is the exception. So if the opponent is coming from the air, block high, but as long as their attacks are grounded, block low. Utilizing this simple rule, the only moves that are going to hit you are grounded overheads, which is fine, because you are in the process of familiarizing yourself with each character's small number of overheads. If a specific overhead is giving you trouble, go to training mode and explore for a bit. Learn about its range and speed, and which moves it can cancel from. Once you can predict the situations the overhead can be used, it will be much easier for you to block it on reaction or avoid it outright. Some specific overheads will still be a pain to deal with, but for that we have the second tip. In Guilty Gear, you can do a ton of cool things with the tension meter. Super moves, Roman cancels, blitz shields. But for now...
Okay, all that shit is stuff I don't know.
Yeah, that's different.
Faultless defense, FD for short. By defending while holding any 2 of P, K, or S, you perform an improved defense that costs meter but pushes the opponent backwards. It sounds uninteresting, but let me repeat this again. FD is a more powerful and important tool than flashy super moves. Guilty Gear is a game where offense is really strong, and it's usually strongest when done at point-blank range. Every time your opponents get really close, use FD to push them back a bit, and then go back to blocking normally to conserve meter. This way, you prevent them from having access to their strongest offensive options, and you won't run out of meter quickly. Not only is this a crucial option at high-level play, it will also bring some quality of life into your matches from the get-go. Why? Because you'll have more space to breathe and learn the game, instead of constantly being under a barrage of attacks. One last crucial thing to know about FD is that it allows you to block ground attacks from the air, protecting you from anti-airs.
Now that seems good.
That's it for now. We'll keep these episodes short.
Okay, so the most important part of what he said there is was talking about FD. That is not in fighters. You don't have a defense like that. You have sparking, and I believe I can. I have a video talking about how to use sparking in that. But for right now, let me go up into let me go into fighters, right? And let's go into fighters and practice attacking.
Fucking Freeze is just going off all these balls.
Okay. I held back and not back down. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how to... Okay. Oh, I couldn't block that because it comes back. Oh, I don't actually do the combo. Go me. Okay, so that actually missed because I was crouching.
Oh, wow, nice.
Episode 4, Air Movement. Hello everyone, and welcome back to
Heaven
Guilty
or
Gear
hell.
Crash
Duel
Course.
1. Let's rock.
Last time we
Yeah, that's
focused on
Guilty Gear
moving
for
on the
ya.
ground, and now it's time to take to the sky. But first, let's not forget that while in the air, you can defend grounded attacks only by spending meter on Faultless Defense, FD. So make sure to save some meter if you want to jump around and land safely if needed. You can move in the air by either jumping or air dashing, but air dashing can be risky, so let's just rely on jumping for now. You have two types of jumps, a normal jump and a super jump, which is slower but travels much farther. You can also jump while running, and it changes the arc, essentially creating a different type of jump. You can mix between these types of jumps to approach the opponent at different angles. But even with all of that, you may end up landing in a predictable manner, right onto an anti-air. You can block with FD, but you can also evade this situation with a double jump. Just keep in mind that most characters have only a single extra jump, and that you can't do it from a super jump. Experiment with all these tools to make your movement sneaky and unpredictable. But what do you do when you finally reach your opponent? Now it's time to explore your aerial normals. In the first episode, we set out to find the move that attacks forward, and a different move that attacks upward.
I didn't do that,
very similar,
but that's pretty much
Find a move that
universal
attacks
throughout
forward,
most of the
an air to
characters.
Yeah,
air attack,
it's standard.
and one that attacks downward, an air-to-ground attack. The combo principles
Okay,
say
so
this
he
attacks
said-
downward, and the move that attacks upward. Set out in the air, it's very similar. Find the move that attacks forward, an air-to-air attack, and the one that attacks downward, an air-to-ground attack.
Okay.
Find your smash, find your air jab.
And now, so now that I know that it's medium in heavies in the air, if I'm trying to land in air to air, let's see if I can get this moving down. Okay. Okay. Now we also get to see if I can reflect if upon a dash. So
Oh dear.
I can, but it's really slow.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's kind of slow. So I have to like literally
Yeah, I
anticipate.
wouldn't even bother. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even bother.
I have to literally anticipate an attack. Like I have to read something. That was a very interesting movement.
I don't know how effective it would be though.
Okay, so that spin move is her forward down.
Keep at it.
Episode 5, Attack Range. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Guilty Gear Crash Course. So now we know how to attack, block, and move around both on the ground and in the air, so we can play the game in a basic way and have fun. But now we have reached our first big wall, the phase where most players get stuck. We know when to use the initial attack and why, to cover a certain angle of approach and control a specific area of the screen. But Guilty Gear is a chain game, and we still can't figure out what exactly to do after that initial move and why. Watching high-level players makes this question seem impossible to answer.
Oh yeah. High level Dragon Ball FighterZ play looks like an actual episode of Dragon Ball Fighter, like Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, let's be real. Even high level fucking Street Fighter people make it look like you're mashing buttons, dude.
Oh no, it looks like you're mashing buttons. So, but yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I don't know what the fuck people are doing when they play Street Fighter. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it looks like they're fucking mashing buttons to anyone who doesn't know what they're doing, but in reality, they're doing things frame perfect to do the most damage, and you'll
Yeah.
never get it without
Yeah.
having spent 90 hours on one character.
Yep.
In a different way every time their
Can you see this? I didn't change it back.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
attack connects. But what's the logic behind it all? It doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah, no shit, it makes no
What
sense.
chain to use and why is a big question that consists of multiple small answers.
Abby, how does the stream look?
So we'll use several episodes to answer it, each time providing a piece of the puzzle. The reasoning behind choosing a specific chain route over others is what we'll call chain route logic. In other games,
Okay,
with
cool.
more universal chain systems, you can pick up any character and at least do a basic combo.
Fucking Marvel vs.
Something like
Capcom.
ABC, Launcher, Aerial ABC, Ender.
Okay,
So you
this
can
I
at
kind of
least
have a
something
feel for
simple
because of
without
that,
running
because
with,
of
and you'll learn your character's
I tried to
unique
jump into
and
combos
real
without knowing what the
options
fuck is
later.
going. So I understand how that
But an
works.
arc system
Well, I
works
mean,
fighting
effectively, some of your
games.
auto
There's
combos are
no
already doing half that
universal
work
set of
for you.
rules.
Yeah.
You kind of get the
Each
feeling of what they're
character
doing,
has
then you can make that work.
vastly different normals and cancel options from one into another. This means that each character has their chain route logic of what to do, very different from the rest of the cast. There is no easy day one placeholder combo for us to utilize here. We have to jump straight into deeper waters. While we can't really explain each
That man said, if you want to learn, if you want an easy time, play a different fucking game.
Yeah, play a game with auto combos. I mean, oh wait, shit.
and every character's chain route logic here in the videos, we can do something else. We can show you some important principles that still apply to all characters, despite their differences. Each character depends on each rule in different amounts, but at least you'll have the tools to explore them yourself with relative ease. It may seem confusing at first, but once it clicks in your brain, everything will start making sense.
Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to predict what he's about to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously gonna go lights to mediums to heavies, but in fighters, and I think maybe in Guilty Gear, you can do stuff like 2 lights to down medium to down light to medium to heavy or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically you have one of each move. Some moves only chain into the other moves. Like light only changes into light or medium.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be able to change light and heavy. Or light into down medium or some shit like that, right?
So on and so forth.
But I do have one of each move, and as long as it doesn't end with the heavy, as long as I don't try to do a move after heavy attack, unless I'm gone, I can keep I can hit whatever button in whatever order, as long as I only use it once.
Yeah,
Probably
I think that makes sense.
probably only explain that terribly to someone who doesn't know what the fuck like already what this is already. So Abby's probably like, "What the fuck did he just say?"
Well, I mean, Abby also doesn't know the notation like we do. Like last week when we did this exact stream, she was like, "What in the fuck are we looking at?"
Her ass thought we were looking at C++ or some shit.
I'm telling you, it's trying to learn a fucking other language.